This is your pen, that's mine.
Roll call, please. Roll call, please.
Mr. Mehta?
Here.
Ms. Guadagnino? Mr. Shadid?
Here.
Mr. Davis? Mr. Socio?
Here.
Ms. Hutchinson?
Here.
Mayor Womack?
Sunshine notice, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publication in the Home News and Tribune on December 10th, 2024, indicating that the North Brunswick Township Council hold regular meetings on the first and third Monday of each month at 7 p.m. at 710 Herman Road, North Brunswick, and agenda meetings on the second and fourth Monday of the month at the same place at 7 p.m. In the event a regular meeting falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on Tuesday night after said holiday at the same place and hour.
Thank you. Carlo, could you lead us in the pledge?
Is that me? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think I might get used to that flag being where it is now after
Okay.
20-something years of being over there.
All right. For our consent agenda, would any member of the council like to have any items removed from the consent agendas, A through H?
Council President, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through H.
Is there a second?
So move.
Roll call. Oh, second?
Mr. Mehta?
Yes.
Mr. Shadid?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Ms. Hutchinson?
Yes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from our workshop meeting on November 25th, 2024?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Approval of our regular council meeting, December 2nd, 2024. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ordinance in second reading and public hearing.
Council President, if I could just jump in here. So this is ordinance 26-16. I'm sorry, 24-16. It's on for second reading and public hearing this evening. This ordinance was introduced, I believe, at our October 7th, 2024 meeting, and subsequently tabled. It was tabled for purposes of getting the approval of the local finance board in the Department of Community Affairs, as we could not adopt the ordinance without their approval. Therefore, since it is, we received their approval at the local finance board meeting last Wednesday, we can now move on this ordinance. However, since it was tabled, first we need a motion to take it off the table and then consider it. So I will ask for a motion to take ordinance 24-16, an ordinance amending the code of the Township of North Brunswick, create a new Chapter 73 entitled Redevelopment Agency, which establishes the North Brunswick Redevelopment Agency. I need a motion and a second to take it off the table.
I'll make the motion to take it off the table.
Second.
Second?
Roll call.
Mr. Mehta?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Mr. Shadid?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Ms. Hutchinson?
Yes.
Now the governing body has the ability to consider this ordinance, and you would follow the same procedure that you follow for any other ordinance. It now is time to open up ordinance 24-16 to any member of the public that may have any comments about this ordinance.
Is there any member from the public who would like to be heard on ordinance, is it 24-16?
It is.
Ordinance number 24-16? Is there a motion to close the public portion? of
So moved.
this one?
Second.
Roll call, please.
No, that's a voice vote.
Okay, all right, great. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 24-16?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Mehta?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Mr. Shadid?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Ms. Hutchinson?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, is that different?
We're done.
Different.
We're done.
Okay, we're done with that. Okay. Is there anybody from, that has any announcements? Nope.
Yep. Okay. Going in some kind of chronological order, I think. Tonight's the last night to enter a house into the house contest. So if you have someone's house you want to nominate, send a picture of the holiday house to events@northbrunswicknj.gov. Don't forget to include the address of the decorated house. And on the night of judging, lights must be on from 5 to 8:30. The Holly Jolly Crew will email you when we will be judging. So that's our house decoration contest. Wrestling's in full swing, and don't I know it. But our rec program is up and running strong, about 25 wrestlers right now. It's open to all boys and girls in town, ages from kindergarten through 6th grade of all skill levels. It's now through March the 3rd for practices, which are Monday and Wednesday. That does not include meets and tournaments. And that's in the high school auxiliary gym, 115 for a resident and 130 for a non-resident. So come out and wrestle. Our ice skating rink is now up and operational on weekends. So that's at Vet Park. It's really a great thing underneath the gazebo. Every weekend we're going to have theme weekends, such as pajama jam, superhero themes, sweater theme, all kinds of good stuff. The hours are Fridays 5:30 to 8, Saturdays 6 to 8, and Sunday 3:30 to 5:30. $1 per skater and $3 for skate rentals. That's at Vet Park under the pavilion. Chess classes are going to be open for children ages 6 and up, from beginners to advanced beginners. You can learn the basics and improve your game. That's going to be starting on Wednesday, January the 8th, and going through to February the 26th, 4:30 to 5:30. If there are less than 6 participants, it'll be a 45-minute session. That will be at the Senior Center, $120 per in-town participant, $147 for non-resident. And you can register online for that. That's children's chess class. Our winter swim schedule is in effect. It's a little bit of a shortened version with the high school swim season going on. But open lap swims are Saturdays in January, the 4th, the 18th, February 1st, and the 8th, 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. You can pay per visit, $15 per person per visitor, get the family swim card, $120 for the year, and just keep an eye out. Our spring schedule will be coming out soon. Adult hula fitness dance class, check that out. We have new glitter hoop sessions. Speaking, what the hell am I reading? Sorry. We have new glitter hoop sessions beginning in January and running through February the 26th, adults only, because you don't want the glitter all over you, of course. Wednesdays, 7 until 8 p.m. It's a new spin on fitness. Classes meet for 6 weeks, and that'll be held in the Senior Center as well. Sessions are low-impact cardio workouts. The fee for the 6 weeks is $60, and the hoops will be provided by the instructor. That's a great class. There we go. And last but not least, probably most importantly, we are gearing up for our blood drive on Friday, February the 28th. And we are telling you that because if you are a regular blood donor, you need to have time in between donations, so we want to make sure that you are ready to go for this. You must be at least 17 years old to donate to the general blood supply, or 16 with a parent or guardian consent. Regular blood donations may be given every 56 days, and they are strict with that. So if it's been 55, and I'm not being facetious, you will not be able to donate. Power Red donations may be given every 112 days. So those are some of the things. So there are some strict guidelines for people who do regularly donate blood, which is why we're telling you this early. So in case you are interested, you can, pace yourself with that. So if you have any question on the blood drive or the hula class or anything that we've gone over, or have an idea, please contact the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Community Services at 732-247-0922, extension 475.
Thank you, Carlo. Councilwoman Guadagnino?
Thank you.
Announcements?
It's that time of year, again, where you need to renew your cat and dog licenses. If you have a 2024, you need to renew it by January 31st, 2025. It does not automatically renew. You have to fill out the forms. But there is also a free rabies clinic for dogs and cats, and that will be on Saturday, January 11th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., dogs and cats only. It will be at the Department of Public Works, which is at 45 Quarry Lane, off Route 130. Dog and cat licenses will not be available at the clinic, just the rabies clinic. Dogs must be on a secure leash, and cat owners must use a cat carrier. If you have any questions, please call the clerk's office, 732-247-0922, extension 470.
Thank you. Councilman Shadid, do you have any announcements?
No, I don't have any announcements.
Okay, Councilman,
Thank you.
okay. All right, I have one announcement. Just a reminder of our North Brunswick Township. We're going to be doing a annual menorah lighting ceremony, and that is going to be taking place on December 26th at 6 p.m. right here at the Municipal Center. All are welcome. If you have any questions or would like more information, you can call 732-247-0922, extension 475, and ask questions. They are accepting donations for the food bank to be brought. There has been no glass, and please check all your expirations for any food that you're donating. And then they are collecting mittens, gloves, and socks. So hopefully you all be able to come out and join in a festive event. I think that's it for everything else. This time we'll have the public hearing opening. Is there anybody from the public who would like to be here? Like to be heard, sorry. Mr. Nassif, please step to the podium.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I had a couple requests from some of the residents, and I didn't know how to answer them, so I figured I'd ask you. Is there any type of guidelines or ordinance pertaining to overcrowding? How is it determined, and how do you find it, and what do you do when you do find it?
Are you speaking about overcrowding in houses, or what do you?
I can't hear you.
When you're speaking of overcrowding where are you speaking of overcrowding?
Don't. She's saying overcrowding houses.
Yeah, overcrowding
Okay.
houses. You know, are there 12 people?
Right, you have to remember.
You
have to remember, our council president had surgery, so she can't speak that loud. So this is the reason why, this is the loudest that she can speak.
So,
I can't hear you, sir.
I said this is the loudest that she can speak.
yeah,
Our council president had surgery, so this is the loudest that she could speak.
Well, anyway, that was the question that was asked. And the second question that was asked is, how does code enforcement work? Did they patrol areas?
Mr. Ness, I'm going to jump on a limb. We've answered this one a million times. We truly have. Mr. Rich is going to answer the overcrowding thing, but Tony, you've asked this meeting after meeting, and we've answered you meeting after meeting on this.
People ask me, I tell them to call you guys. I don't know, all the answers. If I see it, I just call it in, or I come here. I'm not bashful.
Well,
I'm just
the process is simple. If there's a complaint,
requested things.
if there's a complaint, someone calls community development, and the complaint is looked at. Our officers go out, and they do look for stuff, and they do look proactively. They act both proactively and reactively. All right? It depends on what is going on out there. And then, depending on the nature of the violation, we typically always start out with some kind of a warning. Then after that, it escalates up the thing. It goes from warning, whether it's a verbal, and then a written, and then to a fine, and then it escalates up. But this, in fairness to everyone, this has been a question that you've asked a bunch of times. Now, maybe this is someone new, and so I get that. So that's really what the process is. We have our code enforcement inspectors. They do go out on a daily basis, and they do proactive. They drive around looking for things proactively. They also respond reactively when someone calls and has a complaint.
I'm glad you said that because they're watching. Oops.
Okay, good.
They're watching, and now, they got an official answer. Me telling them what to do,
I understand.
they can tell me to go pound salt.
Right, no,
I'm
I
just telling you
understand.
that
If they do have a
these are-
complaint, though,
these are
they
two
should.
questions that were asked of me. I'm asking them now, you're answering,
Right.
and they're watching it on TV.
And if they
That's
do
the
have a
best I can
complaint,
do.
they should call the Department of Community Development. Whether they make it and they put their name, I think you allow anonymous complaints too. Is that accurate, Michael, or no?
Yes, sir.
They do, so that's the process.
Yeah.
Overcrowding?
So the most simple answer regarding overcrowding is that overcrowding is prohibited as it relates to rental properties. So when a property is being rented, there is a limitation on how many people can live in the home based on the number of bedrooms, the square footage. Bedrooms are not permitted generally in basements and not in attics. So that's the basic answer. Overcrowding essentially does not pertain to privately owned residences. We have no right of entry into a privately owned home, and you essentially can't overcrowd a privately owned home, essentially. Those are the basic answers to the question.
On a privately owned home, you can't overcrowd it? I mean, you couldn't have two families living in a
Yes.
one-family house?
Yes.
Yes, sir. You could have 11 children, and they could all live with you. You can have your parents live with you, your in-laws live with you.
That's fine, as long as you made the statement and
Yeah.
whoever asked the question. got the-
Essentially, that's the framework of the answer. We enforce overcrowding as it relates to rental properties. But if it's a privately owned home, the township is very, very limited in its ability to manage overcrowding in a privately owned home.
Well, that takes care of the question.
Good.
So they just have to call in and make their statement to, I guess, code enforcement?
Correct. If it's a rental property, we would
Well,
immediately.
I don't know whether it's rental, privately
Just
owned.
explaining, if it's a rental property, we would immediately investigate it. If it was a private property, we would do some evaluation of the property, but generally, we are limited in our ability to control the number of people living in a privately owned home.
Fine. And as far as surveying different areas, the code enforcement checks, like the police department will
We-
have certain
Yes.
area?
Yes, we
You do the
essentially
same
do
thing?
that. Yes, sir.
All right. It's been recorded, it's on TV.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and best of
Christmas
health
to
to
you.
all of you.
Merry Christmas to you too, Mr. Nassif. Is there anyone else from the public who would like to be heard? Do I have a motion to close the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Council President, before we
Yes.
before we adjourn, as we've said, this is the final meeting of the year. We'd all like to wish everyone a very happy holiday season and let everyone know that our reorganization will be taking place on Thursday, January the 2nd at 7 p.m. right here. So we look forward to seeing people then. And have a great holiday season.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful holiday. And be safe.